You look at the calendar and January has somehow become October. A weekend disappears before it starts. Childhood summers felt enormous. Now years fit between phone updates. Why does time feel faster as you get older? When you are 10, 1 year is 1/10 of your life. When you are 50, it is only 1/50th. That sounds convincing, but the real answer is far stranger. Your brain does not measure a year like a clock. It builds time from attention, change, and memory. But if age were the whole explanation, should every part of life accelerate equally? Psychologists Mark Wittman and Sandra Lenhoff surveyed 499 people between 14 and 94 years old. Older participants were more likely to say that the previous 10 years had passed quickly. But the effect was smaller than the popular saying suggests. People of different ages often judge shorter periods, like the previous week, surprisingly similarly. So age alone cannot be stealing your time. What else changes? Your brain appears to operate with two different kinds of time. There is the time you feel while something is happening, and the time you reconstruct afterward. These two clocks can completely disagree. Which one do you trust? When you watch a clock during a boring meeting, every minute demands attention. When you are absorbed in something interesting, attention moves away from the clock and 3 hours vanish. This is why 5 minutes in a checkout line can feel longer than an entire movie. Your internal clock is dramatic. Why? But when you look backward, your brain does not replay every minute. It estimates duration from how much change was stored in memory. More distinct events create more mental landmarks. So what happens when there are fewer landmarks? In 2003, psychologists Dina Avni-Babad and Ilana Ritov tested this in experiments and field studies with vacationers and kibbutz members. Routine periods were remembered as shorter than periods containing more change. Repetition left fewer distinctive markers for the brain to retrieve later. What happens when nearly every day becomes routine? Childhood is packed with those markers: your first school, first close friend, first trip, first embarrassment, and first attempt to act normal around someone you like, all demand new maps. A single summer can contain what feels like several different lives. Why does adulthood contain fewer firsts? You wake in the same room, travel the same route, open the same applications, and solve variations of yesterday's problems. The days may be busy, but busyness is not the same as novelty. If Monday and Thursday leave nearly identical memory traces, your brain compresses them into one generic file labeled week. This creates a strange paradox. Routine can feel slow while you are living it, but short when you remember it. A novel vacation can fly by in the moment, yet feel surprisingly large afterward because it produced so many distinct memories. Can you actually slow life down? You cannot change the speed of a clock, but you can change the density of remembered experience. Learn something that forces attention. Visit an unfamiliar place. Change a repeated route. Create clear weekly landmarks instead of allowing every evening to dissolve into the same screen. Even recording one memorable event each day gives the brain more handles for retrieving the month later. Could changes this small really matter? This does not mean turning life into non-stop adventure. Constant novelty would be exhausting, expensive, and probably involve far too many airport security lines. The goal is not maximum stimulation. It is enough deliberate variation and attention to prevent whole seasons from becoming mentally identical. So does time literally accelerate as you age? No. Your brain simply becomes better at recognizing patterns, automating routines, and compressing repeated information. That efficiency helps you function, but it also removes some of the detail that once made a year feel enormous. So when January suddenly becomes October, the calendar may not be the problem. Time did not move faster. Too many days may have looked alike, and your memory quietly folded them together.
Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe